Hello, Dr. Teeter. As promised, here is a short video of two of the warm down exercises that I use the most in my routine. I just got done playing for about 3 hours with short 10-minute breaks every 25 to 30 minutes. So here is two great exercises that you can share with your students that I believe are great warm downs. So here's the first one. It's whether it's B flat instruments or C instruments, it starts with your open fundamental, so that's either B flat or C. In this case, I'll demonstrate this on the C tuba, and it starts on concert C on the staff. So what I do, and some of your students may be familiar with this exercise, I do a variation of it. It's an exercise that you can find in the book The Brass Gym by Patrick Sheridan and Sam Palafian. So it's a very easy exercise. You don't really need the book, and it goes like this. So first I play open C and B natural just beneath it. So it's a half step. And then I do the same thing, but I bend the notes instead of fingering it. So here it is again. And I work myself down the chromatic scale. So now I'm going to start with B natural to B flat. I'll finger it and then I'll bend it. B flat A. A flat. A flat G. G flat. So that's an octave, and feel free to continue down to the next octave. so on and so forth. Now, two things that are important to remember. Keep a very open aperture. Try to keep an aperture as open as a pinky between your teeth or between your lips. As you're doing these exercises, just keep constant airflow, stay relaxed. You'll notice that I puff a little bit. It's a very tuba thing. But in the warm down, I believe it works for all brass instruments because it reminds us to play with no tension. Let the air do the work for you. So again, work yourself all the way down to the pedal register. Once you get there, I also like to hold out a few pedal tones as soft as I can. Here's open pedal C. Do as many of those as you like. I do about 5 of those. And then sometimes I'll do B natural, B flat, whatever feels right. If you have difficulty getting down to the pedal register, keep working on it. Eventually you'll get there. The second exercise that I do is I do a glissando from my middle C down to my low C, like this. I do it half valved, or not even half valved, but a third of the way down. Do it again. Once I do that with the valves down, no more than halfway, I do it open valve, the whole thing open valve. And I do this exercise on every fingering going down the chromatic scale until I get to about low F. What this does is it forces you, especially the second version of it, it forces you to really use very little contact with the mouthpiece. It forces you to use a lot of air, and it forces you to relax, because otherwise you get bumps along the way as you bend the entire scale, the entire chromatic scale. You're basically working your way through all the pitches of the chromatic scale as you're going down. So once again, the first time you half valve it as you descend. And you can do this as the slower the better. So once I hear the low C, I release the half valve fingering, all valves, all 4 or 5 valves halfway down, or a third of the way down, and then I release it. Consequently, if I start on second valve, I'll play the note, and then I'll push all the valves down halfway to create that resistance. B flat, and then A flat, G, and so on and so forth. And then, if I'm doing second valve, for instance, I'll just stay on second valve for the second version of the exercise as I bend, or as I glissando the entire chromatic scale from B, or whatever second valve is for you. Which is the next chromatic note. to low F or low E. So on trumpet, work your way all the way down the chromatic scale until you get to 1, 2, 3. And this is fantastic. If you can't do it at first, don't worry, keep working on it. It's very important that when you do the second version of this exercise, that you get as smooth as possible of a glissando as you descend without moving any valves. And this, again, it forces you to relax, and it forces you to use more air without having to use too much contact with the mouthpiece. So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, just let me know. I can always make another video of this. And yeah, those are two of the exercises that really work for me. Actually, if we include just playing a few pedals, that's three really good warm down exercises. Notice that all these exercises descend, which is what we want, because it's the most natural thing to do. It's always easier to play descending scales or descending slurs or descending arpeggios than to play ascending scales or ascending arpeggios, because that works against gravity. So we want to relax the armature and just let the air do the work for you. So I hope that helps. Try them out. They've really worked well for me. So again, if you have any questions, just let me know, and happy warm downs.